What's up, everybody? Oh my gosh, I don't want to clap, but let me do this again. Just trying to make sure I'm good. What's up, everybody? Thanks for tuning into this episode of English Turks, where I review your favorite Turkish series with and without English subtitles. And if you haven't done so yet, why don't you smash that like button to help the YouTube algorithm so this channel could continue to grow. Today, we have a new Dizi alert. New Dizi alert. New Dizi alert. New Dizi alert. I hope you guys heard that. There is a new Dizi out. Actually, quite a few Dizis came out this week alone. I guess it's like the beginning of the fall season, like we're like right on that prep of the fall season, or we're in the fall season. And so these new Dizis have been coming out. Last week we lost a couple of Dizis. Now this week we are opening up with some new Dizis, and this one, guys, cuts it. This one is, oh my gosh. So I had an option. I had a few options, right? Don't pick up any other Dizis and stick with the ones that I'm watching, or pick up on one or two of these Dizis, because now that Bay on this is gone, I don't really have anything on Fridays that I'm watching or whatever. So anyway, middle of the week, this Dizi comes up, and I'm like considering watching it because I read in one of the Facebook groups that it's a really good show. Now I know that one actor with his back turned. I know him. I don't think I've seen the female actress anywhere, so I was like considering. But I was really on the fence because I'm watching a lot of Dizis, and sometimes it's hard to keep up at certain days. But then yesterday, this Dizi pops up and I had seen it in passing, but I didn't actually look into it, watch any of the, trailers or anything. I didn't do any of that. But it just came up in my recommendations, and I'm like, you know what, I'm gonna click it. The reason why is because one of the actresses that plays in that show just came off of a Filiash not too long ago, and that's Burcu, I always think I'm pronouncing their names wrong, but Burcu Ozbert. Yeah, so she was the female lead. She played Ayşe in a Filiash, and so whenever I see actors that I really liked in an old series that I was watching and they're in a new series, I want to see it. And plus, she was in the Fox thing that they did, that whole like lineup trailer thing that they did, and I saw her in it, and I was like, wow, I haven't seen her in any shows. What is this show? So when I saw this show pop up, that's the only thing that I had to go off of, and I was like, I want to see this, because there was a kid in there with her, and so I was like, is she gonna be a mom, or is this kid playing her from the past? Like, what's going on? And then they have this guy, and I'm like, well, he looks too old to be like a romantic partner. So what's the purpose of this show? Is that her dad? Is this a story about a child and their dad? So I was just really curious, what is Burcu up to? What is going on with this show? Let me click it, let me watch it. And I'm telling you, it does not disappoint. This show, at least from the first episode that just came out yesterday, is not centered around a romantic story. Now, all the other Dizis out there, Sefer Kizi, Dr. Gunev Katarindir, even Masumlar Partmani, those are all kind of have like I Gundu Kutugunde. They all have like love stories. I'm sure there's other Dizis, I'm not watching all of them, but there's other Dizis out there that are not centered around a love story. Menagerie Miara is one of them. It's not centered around, and that's why I'm attracted to some of these shows, because after you watch so many love stories, you want something a little bit different. And being that if you're not in Turkey, I'm assuming if you're watching this and you're speaking English, you might not be in Turkey, or I don't know. Turkish people speak a lot of English, but I'm just saying, you're gonna watch it in Turkish if you could speak Turkish. But if you're watching this, you must speak English. You might be coming from an English country. And so we live different cultures. We have different habits and different ways of doing things. And so I am excited about this show because it's talking about children that are in foster care, children that are in orphanages, and how they're living their lives and how they're navigating through these different things. So let's get to the synopsis. The show is centered around this girl, right? But it doesn't begin with the girl, it's centered around the girl who's in a foster care system, and then there's other girls around her in the similar foster care system. Now, this old guy that you see here, he's the person running this orphanage that they're in. And Burcu is playing Ayşegül, I think that was her name in there, excuse me if I'm wrong, but she is basically the social worker that is taking care of their adoption papers, their rehoming and all of that. She's the person in charge of that. So he's in charge of taking care of them on a daily basis and then getting them to, when they get adopted, he's the one that helps with the transition, and she's the one that's doing all the paperwork and all the navigating and all of that. So she's new on the job, and she's basically trying to build this relationship with this orphanage person guy, and it's kind of difficult. Now the girls all enter into this orphanage with different stories, and basically it just navigates their life inside the orphanage and the process of them getting adopted. Now, I'm not going to say anything else. That's the synopsis of the show. I don't want to give it away because there's a lot of different things. Really hope this show survives through the fall season and maybe pick up a little bit more in the winter spring season, because it's a good show. But if you have watched the show, then stay tuned, because I'm going to give you my summary or my review of episode 1. Bye.